Are the Chicago Bears on the verge of a seismic shift, one that could either launch them to greatness or send them spiraling back into despair? You better believe it, because the very foundation of this team is beginning to shake, and all eyes are glued to what happens next. Before we plunge into the chaos of Friday's explosive team updates, let's do a quick favor for the entire Bears family hit, like subscribe to Bears News Fan Report for every post-pounding update, and let us know in the comments, are you feeling the electric vibe, or is this just another false start in our pursuit of glory? Word on the street is thick with whispers and hushed conversations. Rumors swirling around Hollis Hall paint a picture of intense changes coming down the pipeline. Let me tell you, fans, these aren't the kinds of alterations to overlook. This is a full-blown strategy session that could redefine the very essence of our Bears. First on our radar, Dennis Allen, the new defensive maestro, is rolling the dice on a radical approach that could either elevate our defense to legendary status or lead to chaos on the field. If you can believe it, he's calling for a complete overhaul of how we view our linebackers, specifically T.J. Edwards and Tamyon Edmonds. Can you imagine the audacity of asking these warriors to step outside their traditional roles and transform into unpredictable juggernauts, wreaking havoc in places we've never seen? This isn't just a move, it's a bold statement. And speaking of bold, we cannot ignore the stunning injury to Jaylon Johnson, the heart and soul of our secondary. You heard that right, a leg injury right before training camp kicks into high gear? This isn't just a bad break. It's an emotional gut punch at a crucial time. Think about it. Johnson emerged as one of the defensive linchpins last season, with a performance that made him a beacon of hope. Removing him from the equation changes everything. It's like watching Walter Payton or Ehrlicher go down. Those are the types of losses that echo through a franchise. But wait, there's a twist in this messy narrative. Enter Tyron Smith, the 34-year-old avatar of offensive excellence, now on the Bears' radar to fortify Caleb Williams' blindside. An MFL Titan, the mere thought of him donning navy and orange creates a jolt of hope coursing through the veins of every seasoned Bears fan. We could be looking at a defensive metamorphosis from iron gates to quicksilver agility. With Smith protecting our franchise quarterback, we might just witness a radical transformation of our offensive identity. But here's the kicker. What if it all goes sideways? What if these ambitious plans crumble under the weight of injuries and missed expectations? The consequences of Johnson's injury resonate deeply, not just in our coverage, but also in the intangible trust and communication we've been building all along. And here's the dark truth. The margin for error grows thinner by the second. What happens if Allen's brilliant defensive scheme falls apart? Because the defense is a sandcastle without its critical stronghold. On top of it all, losing key pieces during this transition could unravel everything we're working toward. As we dive headlong into this season of speculation, one question lingers in the icy air. Are we truly equipped to contend this time around, or are we just dressed up with nowhere to go? Prepare yourselves, Bears fans, because this chapter of our story is just beginning to unfold. The stakes have never been higher, and the football universe is about to witness what it means to believe in the impossible while standing in the shadow of the haunting legacy of our storied past. Be ready, are the Bears truly stronger than ever, or are we simply one bad move away from falling back into darkness? Buckle up, because the next part of this saga promises to be electrifying, and you won't want to miss a moment as the clock ticks down on this mind-bending season to come. Hear me, Bears Nation. The time has come to unleash the fury that's been bottled up inside us all, to transcend the pain and wear the weight of our historic legacy like a battle standard raised high in the wind. Feel that pulse of history thrumming through your veins, because every moment spent in Hollis Hall, every chilly night spent dreaming of glory at Soldier Field, has led us to this fervent crossroads. But what if the very foundation of our beloved franchise is beginning to fracture? Imagine the whispers echoing down the hallways, the simmering tensions between coaching staff, the murmurs of dissatisfaction haunting the locker room. Like a vengeful ghost, It's easy to overlook the cracks forming within the team dynamics amidst the clamor of weekly game reports, the fervor of fantasy leagues, and social media blitzes. But here's the thing. If our coaches aren't operating in unison, if players are eyeing each other warily instead of locking arms, what hope do we have to rise through the storm of the NFC North? This isn't just about game plans or play calls. It's about the intangible spirit, and I fear we might be losing that essence. Remember, in '85, legends like Butkus and Singletary didn't just play. They demanded and forged respect. They set the tone with their sheer presence, creating an aura that electrified the air. But in stark contrast, we've witnessed too many false dawns like in '06 when hope flickered yet dimmed, a punch to the gut as we sat through playoff heartbreak, and again in '10 when we fell silent in perennial disappointment. And yes, even in '18, the bamboo shoot of hope was brutally severed. Each haunting revision of our playoff history leaves me seething, teetering on the edge of helplessness and fury. The ghosts of our past resist fading into the quiet, begging us to rise again. Chicago is built on steel resolve but layered in the fog of looming doubt. Can we clear that fog, build trust, and sustain a relentless motor when everything feels like it's crumbling? What if Jaylon Johnson's recent comments about accountability spiral out of control, creating fractures that weaken our already struggling secondary? If these tensions burst into open conflict, who will pick up the shards? Left behind? Accountability starts with each individual but reverberates through the team. If this gamble to course-correct spirals out of bounds, where will the finger-pointing land? Will the echoes of our complaints float up to the front office? Do we dare ask, could it be the general manager, the head coach, or even the star players when the losses pile up? The stakes are rising, and each flicker of hope feels more precarious than the last. We've tasted glory, and we crave it again, but the road is fraught with peril. There's a responsibility we bear as fans to demand excellence, to challenge the status quo, to hold our players accountable, not just from the couch, but with every ounce of belief flowing through our beleaguered hearts. And as we stand on the precipice, staring down the barrel of what comes next, one question looms, echoing through the ages, resonating across decades of heartbreak. Can this team again be the unbreakable unit that carries the Navy and Orange back to championship glory? Can we and will we? Today, right this very moment, the future is uncertain. We're at a crossroads where every heartbeat and every decision counts. So I ask you, is your heart pounding as mine is? Is your blood boiling to bleed Navy and Orange? Smash that, like if you feel that energy surging within. Comment if you believe that we can transcend the pain and create a legacy that will reignite the spirit of this amazing franchise. Because we will not sit in silence. We will roar.